Have you ever wondered why millions of people around the world are suddenly talking about Ozempic? Some people call it a miracle drug. Others believe it's too dangerous to use.
Social media is full of dramatic weight loss stories, celebrity rumors, and shocking before and after photos. But behind all the headlines lies a much more fascinating story. Ozempic doesn't work the way most people think it does. It doesn't melt fat overnight. It doesn't force your body to lose weight. And it certainly doesn't change the laws of biology. Instead, it works by communicating with systems inside your body that have been controlling hunger and blood sugar your entire life. Once you understand how Ozempic actually works, you'll also understand why some people lose a significant amount of weight, why others experience side effects, and why doctors describe this medication as one of the biggest breakthroughs in obesity treatment in decades. So, let's follow Ozempic's journey from the very moment it enters the body. When someone injects Ozempic, they usually inject it just under the skin of the stomach, thigh, or upper arm. Unlike medications that must be taken every day, Ozempic is designed to work for an entire week from a single injection. After entering the body, the medication slowly moves into the bloodstream. Instead of flooding the body all at once, it is released gradually over several days. This slow release helps maintain steady levels of the medicine, which is one reason people only need one dose each week. The active ingredient inside Ozempic is called Semaglutide. While the name may sound complicated, what it does is surprisingly simple. Semaglutide was designed to copy the action of a hormone your body already produces naturally. That hormone is called GLP-1. Every time you eat a meal, your intestines release GLP-1. Think of it as one of your body's natural messengers. Its job is to tell different organs that food has arrived and that it's time to begin processing nutrients. In a healthy body, GLP-1 helps regulate blood sugar, controls appetite, and signals when you've had enough to eat. The problem is that natural GLP-1 disappears very quickly. Within just a few minutes, most of it is broken down by the body. Semaglutide was created to solve that problem. Scientists designed it to behave like GLP-1 while remaining active for much longer. Instead of disappearing within minutes, it continues working for nearly an entire week. That single improvement completely changed the way doctors think about treating obesity and type 2 diabetes. One of the first places Ozempic begins working is inside your brain. Deep inside the brain are areas responsible for controlling hunger, fullness, and cravings. Normally, these centers constantly receive information from your stomach, intestines, and hormones. After a meal, GLP-1 tells your brain something very important. It says, "You've eaten enough." With Ozempic, that message becomes stronger and lasts much longer than usual. Many people notice something they haven't experienced in years. Instead of constantly thinking about food, they simply aren't as hungry. Meals that once seemed normal suddenly feel too large. Some people even forget to snack because they no longer experience the same constant urge to eat. Researchers believe this is one of the biggest reasons Ozempic leads to weight loss. The medication isn't forcing people to eat less. Instead, it changes the biological signals that influence appetite. Imagine spending years trying to ignore hunger while dieting. Now imagine your brain naturally feeling satisfied after much smaller meals. That's the difference many patients describe. However, Ozempic doesn't stop at the brain. It also changes what happens inside your stomach. Normally, after you finish eating, your stomach begins emptying food into your small intestine. This process, known as gastric emptying, allows digestion and nutrient absorption to continue. Ozempic slows this process down. Food remains in the stomach longer than usual. As a result, you continue feeling full for a longer period after every meal. This delayed stomach emptying explains why many people naturally eat less throughout the day. Instead of becoming hungry 2 or 3 hours after lunch, they may stay satisfied much longer. But this same effect also explains one of Ozempic's most common side effects. Because food stays in the stomach longer, some people experience nausea, bloating, or a feeling of fullness that lasts longer than expected. These symptoms are often strongest during the first few weeks of treatment or after increasing the dosage. For many people, they improve as the body gradually adjusts. Others may continue experiencing discomfort and need to work with their healthcare provider to manage those symptoms. The stomach isn't the only organ affected. Ozempic also communicates with the pancreas. The pancreas plays a critical role in controlling blood sugar because it produces insulin. Insulin acts like a key. It unlocks your body's cells so glucose from your bloodstream can enter and be used for energy. In people with type 2 diabetes, this process doesn't work as efficiently. Blood sugar levels remain higher than normal because the body struggles to respond to insulin properly. Ozempic helps by encouraging the pancreas to release insulin when blood sugar begins rising after a meal. At the same time, it tells the liver to produce less glucose. This combination helps prevent blood sugar from rising too high after eating. That's exactly why Ozempic was first approved, not as a weight loss medication, but as a treatment for adults with type 2 diabetes. Then researchers noticed something unexpected. Patients weren't just improving their blood sugar. Many were steadily losing weight as well. That discovery led to years of additional research and eventually changed the future of obesity treatment. But here's something many people still misunderstand. Ozempic does not burn fat. Despite countless social media posts claiming otherwise, the medication never directly attacks fat cells. It doesn't melt fat away. It doesn't increase your metabolism like many people assume. Instead, Ozempic makes it easier for many people to eat fewer calories because they simply don't feel as hungry. And that's an important difference. Weight loss still follows the same biological principles it always has. When your body consistently uses more energy than it receives from food, it begins using stored energy to make up the difference. Much of that stored energy comes from body fat. Ozempic supports this process by reducing appetite, not by changing the basic laws of human metabolism. Understanding this difference helps explain both the success of the medication and its limitations. Because while Ozempic can be an incredibly powerful tool, it isn't magic.
And in the next part, we'll explore why some people lose muscle and fat, why food cravings often disappear completely, and what really happens when someone stops taking Ozempic.